Good afternoon, boys and girls. It's lesson 41, adding and subtracting fractions with common denominators. Class, say hi to yourselves. Okay, so today what we're going to be doing is adding and subtracting fractions. We're going to add and subtract fractions and mixed numbers with common denominators. Okay, but first our joke. Go ahead and read this joke. I don't want to spoil the surprise for everyone. So read the joke on your own. It's pretty interesting. All right, example number 1. So, you can use your fraction circles if you want to figure this out. But if we were to use our manipulatives, our fraction circles, if we had 1/4 and 1/4, that would be 2/4 together. Okay. So like we're adding 1/4 and 1/4 equals 2/4. If we add another 1/4 to it, it becomes 3/4. To add two fractions, we combine them. We see that 2/4 plus 1/4 equals 3/4. You see that? And see, we could see 3/4 of a circle. Okay. Let's look at example number 2. And we cut this circle into tenths, right? And if we have 7/10 of this circle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we remove 4 of these tenth pieces, we see that we only have 3 left. Okay, so we start with 7/10. We take away 4 of them. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we find that we have only 3 of those pieces remain, which is 3/10. Or, I'm sorry, if you look down here, we have 7/10 minus 4/10 equals 3/10. If you look at the bottom, see the bottom never changes. The tenths always stay the same tenths when you're adding and subtracting fractions. The bottom doesn't change, okay? And they're both the same. We can't add and subtract fractions that have different denominators, okay? So in this sense, what we have here is the same denominator. We have 7, we minus 4, and the 3 is the one that changes. Okay, let's move on to our next one. All right, example number 3. Bak Yen mixed 1 and 1/4 cup of juice concentrate with 1 2/4 cups of water. Find the total amount of juice by adding 1 and 1/4 and 1 2/4. Okay, so to add mixed numbers, we add whole numbers to whole numbers and fractions to fractions. The whole numbers in this addition are 1 and 1, so we add 1 and 1 together, and we get 2. Okay, then we add our fractions. We have 1/4 plus 2/4 equals, and then we have here 3/4. So 1 and 1/4 plus 1 and 2/4 equals 2. See, 1 and 1 equals 2, and then we have 1 plus 2 equals 3/4. All right, so Bak Yen made 2 and 3/4 cups of juice. Okay, in example number 4, there are 2.5 pot pies in the refrigerator. Tupac ate 1 and 1/2 pot pies. To find the number of pot pies left in the refrigerator, subtract 2.5 minus 1 and 1/2. Okay, so we start here with 2.5 circles, and we take away 1.5. So we're going to take away 1.5 out of the 2.5. And what do we have left over? We only have this 1 left over. So there's 1 pot pie left in the refrigerator. All right, in example number 5, what you're going to do is Federico estimates that there will take 2.5 hours to finish reading a book and 1.5 hours to write a book report. To find the amount of time he needs to finish the assignment, add 2.5 plus 1.5. Remember, we're going to add our whole numbers first. 2 plus 1 equals 3. Okay, then we're going to add our fractions together. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 2/2. If we put these two together, 2 over 2 equals 1, right? 2 divided by 2 is 1. So then you add that to the 3, that equals 4. Okay, so 2 and 2/2 equal, or 3 and 2 and 2/2 equals 4. And then you can justify this answer. If you were to draw this out with circles, I think you should be able to figure that out. That 3 and 2 and 2/2 equals 4. All right. So not a lot for lesson practice tonight. Remember, when you are adding and subtracting, the denominator or fractions, you don't have to change the denominator. That does not change when you add or subtract fractions. You're just changing the numerator on top, okay? And then when you add with mixed numbers, you add the whole numbers first, then you add your fractions together. If your fraction becomes a whole number, like this one will be 2 over 2, that becomes a whole number. And you have to answer the question, not the whole number and 2 over 2. Give me just the whole number, all right? Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to write those on the back, and then we'll talk about this on Monday. See you guys later.